So what if our entire modern understanding of the mind, I mean, a whole century of psychology, is fundamentally missing a piece of the puzzle? We're about to dive into a pretty radical new model based on the work of Michael Curzi that completely reframes how we relate to reality itself. Now, I want you to really let that sink in. This isn't just some feel-good motivational poster quote. It's the absolute core of this entire way of thinking. That feeling of being broken or limited or stuck, it's not a sign that you're defective. It's just a sign you've been using the wrong user manual for your own mind. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we have to start with the foundation, a whole new model of what reality even is. And that brings us to the central idea here, which is called field psychology. I want you to just forget the idea that your mind is just a squishy computer inside your skull. Instead, I want you to picture it like a personal Wi-Fi field that surrounds you, constantly broadcasting and receiving signals, influencing everything around you and being influenced right back. And that right there is the fundamental shift. We're moving away from seeing the mind as this passive thing that just processes the world, and we're moving towards seeing it as an active participant in the game. In this model, you're not just watching reality from the sidelines, you are constantly, actively shaping it. So if your mind is this interactive field, how does it actually work? Well, according to this theory, it's all governed by three fundamental forces. Let's break them down. Think of these three as the basic operating system for you. Emotion, that's the raw power. It's the energetic charge. Logic, that's what gives all that energy a direction. It's the signal. And then there's consciousness. That's the awareness that's watching and guiding the whole show. And here is why this is so important. When your emotions, your logic, and your awareness are all on the same page, you are powerful. You're coherent. But when they're in conflict, you know that feeling where your heart wants one thing and your head is screaming another? That creates a kind of internal static. That noise literally drowns out your signal and makes you less effective in everything you do. Okay, now this is where things get really, really fascinating. We're going to take a couple of classic ideas from psychology and give them a complete makeover using this new field psychology lens. Let's start with a big one, behaviorism. You probably remember this from school. It's the classic idea that our actions are just a product of rewards and punishments. Think Pavlov's dogs, that whole deal.
So the old view is pretty simple. You get a stimulus, you respond, you get a reward, you do it again. But this new vision suggests something much cooler. It says your intention, like when you decide, I am going to the gym, sends out a wave into your field. The action isn't just a behavior, it's your entire being resonating with that intention. It's less like being a robot following code, and more like being a musician hitting a perfect, resonant note.
And this just completely changes how you look at habits, right? They aren't just mindless routines. They're energetic grooves, like well-worn paths in your own personal energy field. So changing a bad habit isn't just about willpower or stopping an action. It's about consciously carving out a brand new path, a new groove, one that's deeper and more compelling than the old one. Okay, so we've looked at our actions. Now let's apply that same thinking to our thoughts. Let's tackle cognitive psychology. For years, we've all heard the same old metaphor. The mind is like a computer. Input, processing, output. But what if that's the wrong metaphor entirely? What if the mind is less like a computer and more like a powerful radio transmitter? In this view, every single thought you have isn't just a private little calculation happening in your head. No, it's a signal that you are actively broadcasting out into the world. And if your mind is a transmitter, then every single thought tunes the dial. Just think about that. When your mind is chaotic, full of worry and static, your signal is weak and garbled. But a calm, focused mind? That's a powerful broadcast tower, sending out a clear, coherent signal. And you are always the one choosing the frequency. So this brings us to the final, and honestly, the most empowering part of this whole idea. What does it actually mean for you to be the transmitter? Here's the bottom line. This isn't just some neat mental exercise. It means that the quality of your internal world, your thoughts, your feelings,
It doesn't just stay inside you. It creates powerful signals that can literally shift the outcomes you experience in your life.
This is such a profound idea. Your beliefs are not just passive opinions that you hold. In this framework, they are active instructions that you are constantly sending out to the universe. It's like you're the programmer, and your beliefs are the code telling reality exactly how to organize itself around you. So, I'll just leave you with this to think about. If your mind is a radio and every thought tunes the dial, what are you broadcasting? Today, right now, in this moment, what instructions are you sending out and what reality are you tuning into? That's the power and the responsibility of being the transmitter.